The story kicks off 5 years ago in the heart of Cairo, and it's already full-throttle action. A slick heist is underway at the ultra-luxurious mansion of a rich Egyptian billionaire. This isn't your average robbery, this one's got style. Mr. Shark, the master of disguises, is already working his charm on the guards at the front. While he's doing his smooth-talking act, Mr. Snake and Mr. Piranha are off creating a clever distraction so Mr. Wolf can slip inside unnoticed. And then there's their newest recruit, Miss Tarantula, the team's tech wizard, who's hacking into security systems like she's playing a video game. Once the gang is all inside, Mr. Wolf fills us in on the real score. They're not here for diamonds or a stash of gold. They're here to steal a rare, jaw-dropping car owned by the billionaire. Yep, this whole operation is for one seriously shiny ride. And once they get behind the wheel, it's go time. The cops are on them immediately, lights flashing, sirens blaring. But Wolf? He's a pro behind the wheel. He weaves through Cairo's streets with insane speed and skill, dodging every obstacle like he's done this 100 times before. Just when it seems like they're boxed in at a bridge swarming with police, Tarantula spots a way out. She guides them to a ramp, and boom, they launch the car into the air, flying clean over the blockade and escaping in the most dramatic way possible. Jump ahead to the present day, and life's taken a sharp left turn. Wolf is now behind the wheel of a rusty old junker, cruising through the city on his way to a job interview. People on the street can't help but laugh at the beat-up car, but Wolf ignores it. He gives us a little backstory. After that epic Cairo heist, things changed. The bad guys went straight. They even helped stop a notorious villain named Marmalade and became the city's unlikely heroes. But even after saving the day, the transition to regular life hasn't exactly been a smooth ride. Wolf walks into a bank to apply for a job, but the moment's ruined the second the bank manager realizes who he is. Turns out, Wolf robbed this very bank multiple times. The meeting ends awkwardly, and things aren't going any better for the rest of the team. Every time they walk into an interview, their reputations follow them. People hear their names and slam the doors shut. No one wants to hire a bunch of ex-criminals, no matter how much they've changed. As if that wasn't bad enough, there's a new thief in town, the mysterious Phantom Bandit. This sneaky burglar has been stealing valuable artifacts all over the city, and get this, they're using the bad guys' old moves, like the classic confetti bomb. It's not just frustrating, it's seriously damaging their attempt to stay clean. Meanwhile, Wolf has been training with Diane, aka their old rival who's now the governor. There's definitely some chemistry between them, though they try to keep things professional. One day, Wolf opens up to Diane about how tough it is trying to be good when the world only remembers your worst moments. Diane encourages him, telling him that people want to believe in him, but he's got to earn it. Feeling inspired, Wolf heads to the police station to talk to Misty Luggins, who's now the city's police commissioner. She's not exactly thrilled to see him, but Wolf says he wants to help with the Phantom Bandit case. Soon, Shark, Piranha, and Tarantula join him to dig into the mystery. After some investigating, they notice a pattern. Every item the Phantom Bandit has stolen is made from a super rare material called megapenite. That means these heists are connected, and the thief isn't just grabbing random stuff. The next target? A championship wrestling belt known as the Belt of Guadalamo, also made from megapenite. The crew decides to scope it out, but things get suspicious. Wolf starts noticing that Snake has been acting a little off. He's been distant, and the timing of his absences lines up a little too well with the bandits' hits. So the gang follows Snake to the wrestling arena, expecting to catch him red-handed. But Snake has a surprise. He's not plotting a heist. He's on a date with a raven named Susan. The crew laughs it off until they notice something odd. One of the wrestlers in the ring, a massive pig in a luchador mask, seems awfully suspicious. That could actually be the Phantom Bandit. Before they know it, the bad guys are pulled into the chaos. Shark and Piranha even throw on wrestling gear and leap into the ring. Wolf tries to unmask the pig wrestler during the fight, but she pulls a sneaky move. She wraps the championship belt around Piranha, making it look like he's the one stealing it. Commissioner Luggins sees it and is ready to throw the book at them. The crowd goes wild. The bad guys are booed off the stage and barely make it out before the place turns into a riot. They're now being chased by fans, security, and the police. Just when it looks like they're trapped, Susan swoops in driving a hot dog truck and rescues them. As they race through the streets, Snake tells the gang how he met Susan and how things got serious between them. Wolf reaches out to Diane and explains everything. They're being framed. Diane believes him but says she needs hard proof before she can step in. Wolf tells her about the megapenite theory, and Diane warns him to be careful who he trusts. Then, quietly, she suits up and heads to confront someone unexpected. Marmalade. Yep, the same villain they once defeated. He's still alive, still in prison, but he's changed. He's bulked up like a gym rat and looks totally different. Diane demands answers, and Marmalade agrees to talk, but only if she plays Connect 4 with him. Classic Marmalade move. Meanwhile, back at the bad guy's hideout, things go from bad to worse. Wolf returns to find his whole team unconscious. And then Susan shows up and shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. Wolf blacks out. When they all wake up, they're tied up in a new hideout, face to face with the real Phantom Bandits. Turns out, this mystery crew is made up of Kitty Cat, Susan, and the pig wrestler, whose name is Pigtail. They're not just a bunch of criminals. They're actually superfans of the bad guys. And now, they want the original crew to help them pull off a massive heist. Wolf refuses. They're done with that life. But Kitty's got leverage. She reveals a video clip showing Diane back in her criminal days as the infamous Crimson Paw. If the footage gets out, Diane's political career will be toast. Kitty gives them a choice: help with the heist or watch Diane go down. With no other option, the bad guys agree to help, reluctantly. Snake, oddly enough, is even more into Susan now, despite the betrayal. Guess love makes you do weird things. The next mission is a big one. Kitty wants them to steal a high-tech remote control watch from a billionaire named Jeremiah Moon. The catch? The watch can control an entire Moon X rocket that's about to launch. Kitty's plan is to hijack the rocket, and she needs the bad guys to get that watch. To pull this off, they crash Moon's luxurious wedding. Wolf slips into disguise again, pretending to be a high-rolling guest to get close to Moon and lift the watch. Everything seems to be going fine, until someone from the past shows up. That same Egyptian billionaire from the Cairo heist? He's here, and he's starting to recognize Wolf. Kitty's getting annoyed because the plan's not going smoothly. Wolf hesitates, and the pressure's on. But don't worry, Wolf's got a backup plan as always. Shark steps in, pretending to be the wedding officiant, and Wolf swaps places with the bride. Things get wild when the Egyptian billionaire starts shouting that something's not right. But just before he can blow Wolf's cover, the bad guys pull off a slick switch. Wolf is swapped out with the real bride, who'd accidentally been knocked out earlier. The guests are none the wiser. Classic move. After the chaos, Wolf tells Kitty that everything went according to his plan. That fight with the billionaire? Total distraction. While everyone's eyes were on the commotion, Piranha and Tarantula were working behind the scenes, and Wolf managed to steal the remote watch without anyone noticing. Meanwhile, back at the prison, Diane's still dealing with Marmalade, the not-so-cute guinea pig villain from their last big mission. He spills the truth. The rare metal megapenite isn't just fancy, it's magnetic. Powerful magnetic. The kind of magnet that could suck up all the gold on Earth if used right. That's when Diane connects the dots. Kitty's not just planning another heist, she's going for a full-blown global gold grab. As she gets up to leave, Marmalade drops another little bomb. Kitty visited him recently. Diane checks the security footage, and yep, there she is. That just confirms it. Kitty's behind everything. Meanwhile, Wolf and the crew are wrapping up their part of the mission. Kitty gives Wolf a USB loaded with secret footage of Diane's criminal past. Then, Kitty casually asks him if being a good guy is really what he wants, or if deep down he misses the thrill of being bad. That thought sticks in Wolf's mind longer than he wants to admit. Back in the crew's van, they get ready to upload a confession video that'll expose Kitty's plan and clear their names. But suddenly, their van won't start. That's when it clicks. They've been double-crossed again. Boom! Kitty, Susan, and Pigtail roll up, capture the crew, and chain them up with solid gold handcuffs. Kitty finally reveals her endgame. She's using the megapenite to power up a massive space magnet. Once it's in orbit, it'll pull every ounce of gold from the planet. Jewelry, coins, even bank vaults. Total gold wipeout. But that's not all. Kitty hands Wolf a remote with two options. One button stops the gold magnet, the other stops a viral upload of Diane's old criminal identity as Crimson Paw. Only one button can be pressed. Tough choice. Then Susan makes a sneaky call to Commissioner Luggins, tipping off the police about the bad guy's location. While the crew struggles to break free, Tarantula tries hacking, Wolf smashes the laptop, but it's no use. The video goes live. Within minutes, the whole world knows Diane's secret. At the same time, Diane tracks Kitty down at the rocket launch site. She fights Susan and Pigtail like a total pro, knocking them aside. But as she checks her phone, the flood of hate messages starts rolling in. The public has turned on her. And worse, Marmalade has been released from prison, thanks to all the scandal. Kitty uses the distraction to knock Diane out and boards the rocket with Susan and Pigtail. But just before liftoff, Diane shakes off the tranquilizer and sneaks aboard. Back on the ground, the bad guys are being taken away in handcuffs. They beg Luggins to listen, to believe they're being framed. At first, she doesn't buy it, but after everything they've done and how far they've come, she finally starts to believe in them. In true action hero fashion, Luggins gets them a helicopter and flies the whole crew up into the skies so they can parachute onto the rocket, Mission Impossible style. Once inside, chaos explodes. Kitty has already started the gold magnet. Giant megapenite balls are mounted on the rocket, pulling gold from all over the world straight into space. Wolf goes after the control watch while Snake and Piranha try to steer the shuttle. Tarantula and Shark start hacking the rocket system to stop the madness. But of course, it wouldn't be the bad guys without something going wrong. Piranha panics, lets out a massive fart inside his and Snake's space suit, and total chaos breaks out between them. Meanwhile, Susan and Pigtail are watching it all go down, and they start having second thoughts. They actually like the bad guys now. But when they share their doubts with Kitty, she snaps. She's not backing down. That's the final straw. Susan and Pigtail officially switch sides. Wolf makes it into Kitty's command pod and they get into an all-out fight. In the middle of their scuffle, he grabs the control watch and activates the remote, releasing his crew from the magnet's pull. Together, the gang crashes the rocket shuttle into the megapenite magnet, destroying it completely. All the stolen gold falls back to Earth like glittery rain. Diane swoops in just in time to help Wolf deliver the final blow. She shoves Kitty into an electric panel, knocking her out cold. Then, right there in the middle of all the wreckage and sparks, Wolf and Diane finally kiss. The whole gang, Wolf, Diane, Snake, Shark, Tarantula, Piranha, Susan, and Pigtail, pile into the station module, and they all fall back to Earth together. Cut to the city, where a massive public funeral is being held. Everyone thinks the bad guys died saving the world. The people cry, cheer, and finally see them as true heroes. But, plot twist, it was all part of the plan. Luggins helped fake their deaths so they could escape the spotlight. Kitty ends up in prison. Susan and Pigtail get community service for turning on her. And as for the bad guys, they get a mysterious invitation. Two shady guys from a secret international agency show up and offer them something big, new identities, new missions, and a chance to keep doing good, but this time, undercover. And just like that, the bad guys suit up for their next big chapter. They're not just ex-criminals anymore. They're secret agents. Thanks for watching. If you love awesome animated adventures like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button **** and stay tuned for more epic recaps. See you next time.